Tonight, we present a softcore classic which was banned in Britain for a quarter of a century and which has only recently been passed as suitable for public viewing on these sensitive shores. The Story of O was director Just Jaeckin's follow-up to the international hit Emmanuelle, the film which made mainstream erotica acceptable and which became one of the most successful screen ventures of the 1970s. Having gained worldwide notoriety with his soft-focus rendering of Emmanuel Arsan's cult novel, former fashion photographer Jaeckin attempted to repeat the formula with his interpretation of Pauline Réage's controversial Potboiler, a tale of a woman's voyage of self-discovery through the elaborate rituals of sadomasochism. Like Emmanuelle, The Story of O took a graphically explicit text and transformed it into a palatably polite slice of big-screen erotica. But unlike Emmanuelle, which suffered fairly minor cuts at the hands of the BBFC, Jaeckin's lavishly mounted Grande Folie was deemed utterly filthy by the board and banned in its entirety. Makes you proud to be British, doesn't it? So what was the problem with The Story of O, which was only recently passed by the UK censors after being re-released without a certificate, much like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, in order to force a decision? Well, the answer to that question remains unclear. BBFC records are infuriatingly unspecific about the reason for the film's initial rejection, but it seems highly unlikely that explicitness alone provoked the censors' wrath, particularly since Jaeckin's other work, from Emmanuelle to Lady Chatterley's Lover, has rarely, if ever, strayed into the realms of pornography. And although the BBFC were keen to point out that the version they finally passed was shorter than that originally rejected, all sensible sources, including Jaeckin himself, state that the abridged version was trimmed for pacing rather than porn. Certainly the longer French language version, which you're about to see, contains nothing that could have provoked a ban, and indeed omits the terrible overdubbing, which was the film's only genuinely obscene element. It seems more likely that, like the rape scene from Emmanuelle, which was cut for reasons of morality rather than explicitness, The Story of O was rejected because it was problematic rather than pornographic. Certainly Jaeckin is fairly faithful to Réage's novel, which was celebrated by French intellectuals as an exploration of existential self-annihilation, and even adventurously adds a progressive double ending to mirror the dual opening of her text, which he bravely reproduces on screen. It's not a great film, but at least it's trying to do something interesting with softcore sex, a crime for which it was sorely punished by the British censors. So, after 25 years in chains, here is The Story of O.